Good day, YouTube. It is 4th of July, 2021. Happy 4th of July, everybody. This is my 1966 Ford F100. It's my shop truck. We've come a long ways with this thing. If you haven't watched the old videos on this truck, I suggest you find my playlist there on my channel and start from the beginning, where we towed this thing in on a snowy day in January or February or something from Klamath Falls, Oregon. And we started in on this thing. It was a really fun winter project, and it's turned into a really fun driver for me. Just a fun shop truck. Been running around all day in it so far today. One thing that's been bugging me is the accuracy of the fuel gauge. Let's look real quick what we got here. So, keys on. My fuel gauge. Golly gee, I hope you can see it. It's in the, there we go, just above quarter. Okay, just above quarter. I believe it's more like half, because if I fill it, it only goes up to 3/4. So today's the day we're going to change the sending unit out. So I've got a replacement. Here, it appears to be exactly the same. Came with a new gasket, new screws. I got the seat forward, and it's just going to be that easy. So let's swap this out, see how it works. I thought I'd make the video. I see a lot of people online going, you know, my gauge doesn't work, or my gauge is inaccurate. How can we fix it? As long as the gauge is working, it's probably sending unit. If the gauge doesn't read anything, you would simply ground this out right here, and it should full field. It should go all the way past full on the gauge. Take the ground out, it should fall all the way down. If you do that test, then you know your gauge is fine. What you have is a sending unit issue. It's getting a little crispy right around here, so we may cut this wire back and put on a more proper end on that, so I don't have any future problems. So let me get you set up in the stand, get you focused in on this guy. I did run the fuel down a little bit so that you're certainly not full. Don't suggest you do it with it full, but you'll get her down below half. So I believe when we're done that the gauge should read roughly half. Let's see what happens. All right, let's do this in real time. So I got a 1/4-inch nut driver. Looks like that's what we got here. Yep. Came with new screws. They're a little long-winded. These are. Holy smokes. Long-winded. Pull the ground off there. Wonder what this is gonna look like. Decent, ugly, a mess? One way to find out. Looks relatively new. See what we got on the end here. Alright. It looked pretty good. Just not sure why it wasn't accurate. Peel this off. Good. Open up our new package. Nice thick cork gasket. Should have put the gasket on first, right? There's no getting it on later. Making sure the holes line up. Oh, it's got to be a certain rotation, does it? It's got to be clocked. Well, it's better to find that out now while I've got it in my hand, rather than trying to fight it on the tank. Not right yet. It's always the last configuration you try. Not quite. Not quite. How many times I got to try to match this? What the heck? It's like the gasket's not right. Because I know I've tried every configuration to make them line up perfectly. Round and round we go. I'm gonna flip it over here in a second. I'm guessing that might make a difference. And what I mean is flip the gasket over. That's not right. There we go. Well, that took a long time. Alright. Let's get the new screws out. Just get them started till you get them all started. Yeah. Oh great, it's not 1/4 inch. Going to require a different tool. Alright, got them started. Grab some tools. New sizes here. Is it 5/16? It is. Run them all down, get them snug. Let's tighten these in stages, shall we? It's the last thing you want leaking in the cab of your truck. Let's give it every opportunity to seal. Right. Off camera, I grabbed a nut for that. Instead of a push-on terminal, I'd like to have a crimped-on, nut-tightened ring terminal. There we go. A little crowded over here. There we go. Put that ground back up. Now let's see what our gauge says. I get to see it first. This might require some adjustments. It isn't, it's actually below quarter. Darn it. Alright, let's see about adjusting that. Alright, I pulled the sending unit back out. I grabbed a big paint stick. Let's see how much fuel's in the tank and adjust the arm by bending it, and then check that against the gauge. Hope that stick fits in the hole. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm going to gauge that as just under half. Okay? About where I thought it should be. So that's going to be the full mark all the way up like that. So I'm going to put a bend down on this rod. Seems like too much. Take a little out. Let's try it. We don't even have to screw it all the way in. Should have done this first time, shouldn't we? Let's hook the ground up. Just plug the gauge in or attach that. You hold that with one finger. Climbing but slowly. It's up to a quarter. It's over a quarter. Between half and a quarter, or almost there. Seems like that's where it's stopped. It's between half and a quarter. Slightly higher than where it used to be. I'm going to put a little more bend in it. I'm going to put a little tension on this clip as well. While we're here. It was probably good with the bend I had, and I took a little out. I'd like to see just under half. That's where I believe it is. That fits better. That fits better. Climbing again, but it's slow. It's over a quarter. Between quarter and half. I'd like to see it come up a little more. It's still climbing. Just below half. That's where I think it should be. All right. Let me button this back up. So there was probably nothing wrong with my old sending unit, but I didn't know its age and all that stuff, so replacing it with a new one seemed like a great idea, and it probably was. So there we go. We're reading a half a tank now. If you can see that, reading a half a tank. You got to trust me on that. All right, gang. Appreciate you coming along for yet another video on the shop truck. And hit the thumbs up button on the way out the door. You've now learned how to install and adjust a fuel tank sending unit. Pretty typical for all different kinds of vehicles. This one just happens to be particularly easy to work on. Gang, thanks a lot. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out the door. Subscribe if you haven't already. Catch you on the next video.